minds behind the Discovery Channel and TLC. This is the Science Channel. We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Antimatter had been defeated, and the universe was still only a second old. Over the next 3 minutes, the explosions created the kind of matter we would recognize today: hydrogen. It was still too early for the universe to shine. In the dark ages that followed, would combine together and provide the building blocks of the first generation of stars and galaxies. The atoms created 12 billion years ago are still with us today. Every time you take a sip of water, you're swallowing hydrogen atoms that were created at the very beginning of the universe. Most of the atoms in our bodies were created in the first moments of the Big Bang.
We tend to often dissociate ourselves from the universe. We tend to think of asking questions about it versus us. But of course, that's not really true. We're a part of the universe. And when we ask about the origin and evolution of the universe itself, we're really asking questions about the origin and evolution of ourselves.
Since the Big Bang, the universe has continued to grow and expand. To understand just how big it has grown, we need to take an imaginary spaceship ride from the Earth to the edge of the visible universe. Our nearest neighbor is the Moon, just 250,000 miles away. At the center of our solar system, 93 million miles away, is our Sun. After crossing the center of our solar system, we continue our flight beyond the orbit of the Earth. The next planet out is Mars. Beyond the orbit of Mars is the asteroid belt. A billion miles away is the giant outer planet Saturn, almost 1,000 times the size of Earth. As we leave the solar system, we would pass one of our earliest interplanetary explorers, Voyager 1, launched in 1977 and traveling at a mere 40,000 miles per hour. Proxima Centauri and Alpha Centauri, A and B, our nearest stars, are 25 million miles away. Our solar system sits in the quiet suburb of the spiral galaxy, the Milky Way, a star system containing over 100 billion stars. Every star we can see in the night sky lies within our own galaxy. Out beyond the Milky Way, 10 million miles from Earth, is the next spiral galaxy, Andromeda. Even traveling at the speed of light, it would take 2 million years to reach here. Andromeda and the Milky Way form part of a small cluster of galaxies called the Local Group. But stretching out way beyond the Local Group are much greater clusters of galaxies. If it were possible to travel fast enough for long enough and reach the edge of the known universe, this is what we would see. Uneven clusters of galaxies, a pattern that was predetermined in the very first second of the Big Bang. This is as far as our spaceship can take us. We are now 50 billion trillion miles from Earth. This is where science ends and speculation begins. Astronomers may never see what lies beyond here. This is where the secrets of the universe are hidden.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Orange Glow, wood cleaner and polish. Discover the secret of pure orange oil. It cleans, it polishes, and helps protect all at the same time. Use it on different types of wood, like cherry, oak, maple, and walnut. Wood dries out. Orange Glow helps keep it looking new. It puts down an invisible shield that helps protect your wood from water spots and stains. Orange Glow leaves a smooth surface and a lustrous shine. Other cleaners don't always cut the grease. Orange Glow wipes away this grease pencil without damaging the surface. When you call, you'll get not one, but 2 bottles of our Orange Glow. We'll also include a bottle of our multi-purpose cleaner, Orange Clean. You get all this, not $20, only $12.99. Here's how to order.
Call now, and for only $12.99, you get not one, but 2 16-ounce bottles of the Orange Glow wood cleaner, 1 22-ounce bottle of the multi-purpose cleaner, 1 cleaning sponge. Call 1-800-791-6699.
Coffee? No, thanks. I think I'll get my own.
Perhaps he's compelled by the sumptuous aroma. Maybe he desires the rich, delicious taste that he finds at home. The taste of Javalia Cafe. To experience the pleasure of Javalia yourself, call 1-800-677-1523. We'll deliver 2 boxes $95 with a free coffee maker to ensure you brew and keep Javalia. Enjoy Javalia. We'll send more whenever you like. Call 1-800-677-1523 today for your 2 boxes of Javalia and free coffee maker. There's no further obligation. Javalia Cafe. Always a pleasure to come home to.
They're our best friends, constant companions. We love them like family. But do we ever really know what they're thinking? Meet someone who can read their minds in Animal Planet's new series, The Pet Psychic. Sonia Fitzpatrick will reveal exactly what your pet thinks.
My, oh my, aren't they chatty?
Don't miss our new series, The Pet Psychic. Tonight at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Animals don't lie.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Centuries, astronomers have been trying to locate our exact position by looking further and further across the vast expanses of deep space. For 400 years since Galileo first pointed his telescope at the sky, astronomers have not only been looking across the far reaches of space, but back in time. Because the light from distant objects takes so long to reach us, every telescope is a time machine. Even traveling at an unbelievable 186,000 miles per second, light takes a long time to cross space. Here at the Lick Observatory, Sandra Faber spent her early career unraveling the mysteries of the most distant galaxies.
The biggest telescopes on Earth now are taking us back billions of years into the past, 90% of the way back to the beginning.
View light from the furthest visible galaxies, and you're seeing them as they were over 11 billion years ago.
A galaxy is really like a city of stars. Just as there are billions of people on Earth or millions of people in a city, There are hundreds of billions of stars in a typical galaxy.
The universe contains over 100 billion galaxies. Like giant hurricanes in space, their resident stars spin around a giant central core. To see into the heart of the most distant galaxies would require a very special telescope. In 1990, the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope promised astronomers a view of the early universe they had only dared dream of. High above the Earth's atmosphere, this billion-dollar looking glass would have a totally clear view of the most distant galaxies. This is what Hubble saw. The images they received were beyond anyone's wildest imagination. Free from the distortion of the Earth's atmosphere, images captured by the Space Telescope left even the most hardened of cosmologists in awe. Hubble captured the final moments and years. It also captured interstellar nurseries of newly born stars, each one as varied and unique as a human fingerprint. And dark pillars of cosmic dust more than 1 million miles long, ready to spawn a new generation of stars and planets. But Hubble's true moment of glory was still to come. The mission controllers pointed the telescope at a distant, empty patch of deep space and waited. Over a period of 10 days in 1995, emerging across the coldness of space, the Hubble Deep Field image revealed a tapestry of distant galaxies. This was the furthest back in space and time we had ever seen.
To point the telescope for hundreds of hours and let this light travel for 10 billion years, slowly dribble in and accumulate. When you see far back and see so many galaxies in images, and very interesting things going on in the universe.
Powerful computers have turned the real galaxies of the deep field image into a remarkable 3D journey to the edge of the universe. In the foreground are mature galaxies like our own. Further back in time are younger, energetic galaxies. But beyond here, the structures begin to thin. This is as far as we can see. This is the edge of the visible universe, over 90% of the way back to the beginning of everything. Just 1 billion years after the Big Bang. Beyond these galaxies, we can see nothing.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Are you sick of getting kicked off the computer and fed up with missing important phone calls, all because everyone in the house is sharing one phone line? Not anymore. Introducing the Switchboard from Emerson, the revolutionary phone line sharing system. Watch, just plug in one phone line, then hook in your computer, phone, and fax machine, and you're ready to go. Then surf the web and get quick incoming phone calls while you're online, or receive a quick fax while online. It's like having 3 phone lines without the expense. The Switchboard works with any computer, phone, or fax machine. You could spend as much as $35 a month for an additional phone line. In a year, that's over $400. Or you can order the Switchboard for just 2 low payments of $19.95. Call right now and receive the compact Tech Pack free. If you're not completely satisfied, return the Switchboard, but keep the Tech Pack as our gift. Order now.
To order your Emerson Switchboard, call 1-800-355-0606 or send check or money order for $39.90 plus shipping to the address on your screen.
For over 50 years, Red Skelton delighted audiences unlike any other comic in TV history. Now, for the first time, the Red Skelton estate has released the greatest moments of Red's years on NBC in this special collector set of America's favorite showmen. The best of Red Skelton in living color. Enjoy hours of true family entertainment, including Red's famous characters and Red's famous friends, with all the hilarious flubs and bloopers included. The best of Red Skelton can be yours through this exclusive TV offer for only 2 easy payments of $19.99. Call now and Red's family will include the legendary Red Skelton Holiday Special absolutely free. That's 4 full hours of Red Skelton's finest moments on television for only 2 easy payments of $19.99. We'll even include a free color lithograph of Red with your order. So don't miss out on the fun. Pick up the phone and order the best of Red Skelton in living color, available in VHS or DVD. Call now.
We are the Science Channel. We've changed our name, but we're still your #1 source for science TV. Stay with us.
From America's #1 personal trainer, Tony Little, comes the country's most exciting way to lose weight, the revolutionary Gazelle Freestyle. 10 cardio, strength training, and stretching moves in one fun-filled, calorie-burning workout with almost 0 impact.
I've lost 32 pounds in 7 months. Being over 300 pounds, it helped me lose over 200.
The Gazelle Freestyle has worked for these people and many more. Now you can try the Gazelle Freestyle before you buy. At home for 30 days for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Complete with onboard heart rate monitor and Tony Little's exclusive one-on-one personal trainer video.
Use the system for 30 days. If you don't fall in love with it, if you don't get results from it, if you don't like me, send it back.
This sensational Gazelle Freestyle $14.95 trial offer won't last long, so don't miss out. Call right now.
Call now to order a Gazelle Freestyle to try in your own home for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
The universe is so vast, some astronomers have decided to make a map of exactly where we are. Just as Galileo tried to make sense of our place in the heavens, here at Apache Point, New Mexico, a group of astronomers are trying to locate our position by constructing the biggest map that anyone has ever seen. Built specifically to map over 1 million galaxies, this is the home of the Sloan Sky Survey. Over a period of 5 years, astronomer Jim Gunn and his colleagues are about to start mapping our exact position.
We're in a galaxy, which is a particularly remarkable galaxy, but this 3D picture that we will make of the nearby universe tells us how we fit into this vast scheme of things that is the universe, and I think will give us a much better idea of our place.
By systematically the entire night sky from high above the desert floor, the results will be plotted not as a 2-dimensional route map, but a fully interactive 3-dimensional guide to the universe. Jim Gunn's survey is an ambitious project, and it's only just beginning. This is how the final map may look. It's a computer simulation of superclusters of galaxies, massed together in giant blobs. You are here. This will be the position of our planet, our solar system, and our own Milky Way. But on this scale, it would be impossible to see us or even any of our neighboring galaxies. This is a map of everything we can see. Everything in the universe, all the visible stars and galaxies, were born in the same furnace, the Big Bang. A ball of intense heat still cooling as it continues to expand. Cosmologists are not only confident that they have unearthed the universe's past, but that they can also predict its future. Space, like the surface of hot-blown glass, cools as it expands. Just as flecks of color embedded in the glass move further apart the more it stretches, so do the galaxies. Space is expanding in all directions at once. Modern cosmologists are now trying to measure if this expansion will continue forever. How will the universe end? The key to the future of the universe was discovered long before modern astronomers built their giant telescopes. Back in the 1660s, when Sir Isaac Newton had an encounter with a falling apple and discovered gravity. Newton formulated laws of physics which formed the basis of modern science.
He realized that the same force takes an apple and pulls it down from a tree towards the Earth, pulls the moon towards the Earth, and in fact pulls the Earth towards the sun and pulls the sun towards the center of our galaxy. But in fact, gravity is the weakest force in nature. If you wanted to show someone how weak gravity is, just take a friend to the top of a tall building and push them off. And it may take 12 stories for them to fall, and gravity will accelerate them all the way down to the ground. But electricity and magnetism in a fraction of a second and a fraction of an inch will stop them. Because the reason you don't go through things is not that the atoms in your body hit the atoms in the table, but rather it's the electric fields between those atoms that stop you. So electricity and magnetism stops you in a fraction of a second, even though it takes gravity all that time to accelerate you.
Gravity may be the weakest force, but it's the force that holds the planets and the stars together. After Newton, perhaps the greatest scientist and mathematician of all time was Albert Einstein. Einstein had been an unremarkable student, and his first job was as a clerk in the local patent office. His general theory of relativity, announced in 1915, explained for the very first time how everything within the universe interacts: space, matter, even time. His calculations told him that the stars and galaxies should exert a gravitational pull on each other and should eventually collapse together in a catastrophic fireball. But they hadn't collapsed, so to make his equations work, he invented a special repulsive force. But it was a makeshift solution, and deep down, Einstein knew it. Then, a decade later, along came a man with the solution to Einstein's puzzle. Here, at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California, Edwin Hubble took the first steps towards forecasting the fate of our entire universe. Hubble was a World War I veteran and a brilliant lawyer. When he turned his renowned skills to astronomy, he came up with a remarkable discovery that would change the way we view the universe forever. He made the astronomical discovery of the century, that the universe was expanding. 75 years on, measuring the precise speed of that expansion is the job of astronomer Wendy Friedman.
What Hubble found was that almost all galaxies appear to be moving
away from us. And this led to the idea that the universe is expanding. Here was evidence for the first time that the universe was actually in motion, that galaxies are moving apart.
Hubble's revelation stood the astronomical community's understanding of the cosmos on its head. He'd used the same technique that police forces around the world use today to catch speeding motorists. Hubble used the astronomical equivalent of a police radar. Instead of using radar signals, Hubble measured the light that came from distant galaxies. He knew that their color would be slightly altered if they were traveling towards or away from us.
If an object is moving away from us, then the light from that object will be shifted toward the red part of the spectrum. If an object is coming towards us, the light will be shifted toward the blue part of the spectrum.
By determining just how much the color had been changed, Hubble could work out how fast a galaxy was traveling. It's an effect known as the Doppler shift, and it applies to both light and radar. Hubble found that all the light from all the galaxies was shifted towards the red part of the spectrum. They were traveling away from us at an incredible speed. Modern astronomers have calculated that we, along with all the contents of our own galaxy, are traveling away from the nearest cluster of galaxies at 1,000,000 miles an hour. By the end of this program, the whole universe will have expanded 1,000,000,000 miles in all directions. Cosmologists need to find out if there's enough matter in the universe for gravity to stop it expanding and flying apart.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Neglect your nails and they could end up looking like this, chipped, rough, and discolored. But who wants to pay for a manicure week after week? Now there's stunning nails from IGEA. It's your very own professional home nail salon with everything you need to keep your hands looking beautiful. IGEA Stunning Nails features an air-drying compartment with a special ultraviolet light that sanitizes and strengthens your nails. It's a complete nail care system that can turn chipped nails into lovely nails, make rough cuticles smooth and even. You'll have the kind of nails you can really feel proud of. You start with this powerful rechargeable styling wand. It comes with 7 precision attachments, an abrasive contouring cone for rough tips or acrylics, a flat abrasive disc to use on cuticles and rough edges, a round polishing disc to smooth just before polishing, a round gold buffing cone for trimming and shaping, a smooth contouring cone to smooth calluses and dead skin away, and a green finishing cone to smooth out finished nails. You'll get a professional finish just like your manicurist gives you. After you apply your favorite polish, use the air-drying chamber to dry your nails faster than any other home unit. Then the special ultraviolet light sanitizes and strengthens your nails and keeps them healthy and strong. IGEA Stunning Nails works on both natural nails and artificial nails, and it's perfect for pedicures too. Now cracked, discolored nails can become impeccable, beautiful nails. Sore, neglected nails can become healthy, attractive nails. You get the IGEA Stunning Nails main unit with air-drying compartment and ultraviolet light, the rechargeable styling wand, 7 precision styling tools, and instruction manual, all for only $29.99. So order your IGEA Stunning Nails now.
Call 1-800-778-5775 to order the IGEA Stunning Nail System for only $29.99. You can have beautiful salon nails in the comfort of your own home. You can also order by check over the phone, or you can send a check or money order to the address below. So call 1-800-778-5775.
The Science Channel, organized to maximize your viewing experience. Each night, we've got a different theme block, a collection of shows on the same science subject. Every week, you'll find our theme blocks at the same time, giving you consistent places to see your favorite kinds of science, from the microscopic to the cosmic. The Science Channel's theme blocks, the best way to feed your need for science, only on the Science Channel.
The mysteries of the universe have always fascinated us.
In 1894, Percival Lowell founded Lowell Observatory, launching exciting astronomical research that continues today. Research at Lowell has led to groundbreaking discoveries, including the planet Pluto and the first evidence of the expanding universe. Today, Lowell astronomers explore comets, near-Earth asteroids, worlds beyond our solar system, and more. Join the exciting world of astronomy at Lowell Observatory.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Wondering if there is enough matter in the universe to stop it expanding is a prime concern of Professor Stephen Hawking. Born 300 years after Newton, Hawking now holds Newton's old job at Cambridge University. Hawking already knows that the visible galaxies do not produce enough gravity. He now suspects that the universe is full of invisible dark matter.
If the universe continues to expand forever, everything will burn out and decay. The amount of matter we observe in stars and gas clouds is only about 10% of what is required to stop the expansion of the universe and cause it to collapse again. However, there might be other dark matter that we can't see, but which can still affect the expansion of the universe.
For some, the challenge of predicting the fate of our universe is compulsive. Their passion for cosmology often turns into a lifelong obsession.
There are a lot of people engaged in trying to find out what the universe is, and I think it's mostly the same kind of curiosity that kids have when they're 6 years old or 8 years old. It seems to get beaten out of them in school, but we're sort of the ones that, I don't know, the schools didn't affect or something like that. We're still asking those same questions and still trying to get answers to them.
Here at Cerro Tololo, cosmologists have made a startling new discovery. Bob Kirshner believes that dark matter may not be holding the universe together at all. They're forecasting how the universe will end by observing one of the most violent cosmic events, stars that explode in distant galaxies with unbelievable ferocity when they reach the end of their life. Supernovae. From the brightness of these explosions, Kirshner and his team can tell if a galaxy is near or far away. They measure the distant supernovae as markers to help them work out how fast the universe is expanding.
This is a very sensitive system that we're using. It has an electronic detector, and of course it's connected to a gigantic telescope. It lets you see objects which are about 100 million times fainter than you can see with your dark adapted eye.
Like Edwin Hubble, they're using the light from distant galaxies to get an accurate fix on the universe's rate of expansion. They thought they would be measuring how much the gravitational pull from dark matter was slowing the expansion rate down. But what they have found has stunned the cosmological community. Rather than slowing down, the universe is speeding up. The galaxies are moving apart faster than ever before. Dark matter is not powerful enough.
See, but it looks to me like there's still something there at the location that was there, right there.
Scientists now believe that the universe will not collapse in a catastrophic fireball, nor will it coast on serenely. Instead, its contents will speed apart faster and faster until lost in the vast blackness of space.
So if the picture that is coming from the supernovae is really right, the universe will expand forever. In fact, faster and faster on into the future. Now, this is really not anything to worry about, even though it is a kind of a bleak future of an empty, cold, dark universe.
What Kirshner may have discovered is a remnant of the original Big Bang. The inflation that started in the very first second of the universe is taking off again.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
In this world, it's play or be played. Get the battle skills. Get the code. Get the strategy. Get the secrets to become the ultimate gamer. Because information is power. And power, you're going to need it. The Electric Playground, every Thursday night at 8:30. Only on the Science Channel.
Are you sick of getting kicked off the computer and fed up with missing important phone calls, all because everyone in the house is sharing one phone line? Not anymore. Introducing the switchboard from Emerson, the revolutionary phone line sharing system. Watch, just plug in one phone line, then hook in your computer, phone, and fax machine, and you're ready to go. Then surf the web and get quick incoming phone calls while you're online, or receive a quick fax while online. It's like having 3 phone lines without the expense. The switchboard works with any computer, phone, or fax machine. You could spend as much as $35 a month for an additional phone line. In a year, that's over $400. Or you can order the switchboard for just 2 low payments of $19.95. Call right now and receive the compact tech pack free. If you're not completely satisfied, return the switchboard, but keep the tech pack as our gift. Order now.
To order your Emerson switchboard, call 1-800-355-0606 or send check or money order for $39.90 plus shipping to the address on your screen.
America, America.
Coming face to face with freedom is to journey into the landscape of a nation's vision and pride, and to carry it with you in your heart forever.
With brotherhood.
Feel the spirit of America. Call now for your vacation guide. South Dakota, come face to face with freedom.
Hi, I'm Jim Guest, president of Consumer Reports, the one magazine totally dedicated to helping you find the best value whenever you shop.
Call now for a risk-free trial subscription that includes 12 monthly issues, plus the 2003 buying guide and the special April auto issue. As a free bonus, you'll receive the 2002 buying guide and the essential household reference, How to Clean Practically Anything, all for only $26.
Call 1-800-697-8811. That's 1-800-697-8811.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
The shape of our universe, everything we see around us, was determined when the universe was smaller than an atom and only a fraction of a second old. Our universe is cooling and dying. In 1 billion years from now, our first unmanned spacecraft, like Voyager 1, will leave the Milky Way and drift unhindered through the universe. As the universe reaches middle age, even the longest-lived stars will start to burn out.
Our sun has about 5 billion years of life left, and very few stars will still be shining 10 billion years from now. The dead stars will still orbit around the center of the galaxy, but their collisions will gradually cause most of them to fall into a giant black hole at the center.
Suppose we look ahead to when the universe is 100 billion years old. Then it would be a rather dull and dark place, because all but the faintest and most slow-burning stars will have died, so the universe will not only disperse, but all the galaxies will get fainter.
As the universe expands with age, gravity will lose its precarious grip. If you could be there to witness it, you would see absolutely nothing. Is there anything the human race could do to flee from such a dark fate? Could we escape into another dimension, into another universe?
The best ideas that people have come up with do suggest that maybe our Big Bang was not the only one, and that the inflation which led to our universe may have happened elsewhere, maybe an infinite number of times, in some grand eternal cosmos.
If other universes do exist, could we ever find a way of traveling into one?
It's incredibly interesting that there's a lot more we don't know about the universe than we do, in spite of all we've learned up to date. And therefore, some of the wild ideas from science fiction, including things like even wormholes, might or might not be possible. We just don't know at this point.
Wormholes are another prediction of Einstein's theories. Here, space is so twisted that it forms a tunnel from one universe to another. Even if these hypothetical holes in space and time do exist, entering a neighboring universe could be unwise. Travel into one where the laws of physics are even slightly different from our own, and you'd cease to exist at all.
Even though we have very small brains and we lead very brief lives and so on, the fact is we're able to understand where we are, and because we can use instruments like the big telescopes, the physics that we learn on the surface of the Earth, and the ideas that people have had over the last few centuries to build up a coherent picture. And I think we should be proud of that. We've done pretty well.
I feel it's been a great privilege and a huge amount of luck to be present to witness an important science like cosmology hit its peak.
In some way, creatures like us, and there probably are many, are the consciousness or the intelligence of the universe. It's almost as if the universe invented a way to know itself.
After centuries of gazing at the heavens, scientists now know that everything in our universe was born 12 billion years ago. Before the Big Bang, there was nothing. This violent explosion gave birth to everything we can see. Countless galaxies, stars and planets, even life itself.
You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. You heard me, the Science Channel. You probably noticed, we've changed a few things. We've taken the best science programming on TV and given it an all-new look. Still from Discovery, this is the Science Channel.
Red tides and other harmful algae are putting marine scientists on red alert. When these single-celled microorganisms gang up, they can have devastating effects on marine life and endanger human life as well. They are called harmful algal blooms. Out of tens of thousands of algae types, there are only about 50 different harmful or bad algal blooms worldwide. Red tide is one of the most well-known. Dr. Don Anderson has studied these algae for 25 years.
These are the single-celled microorganisms in the ocean that are the base of the marine food chain. They will grow and become very abundant, and their pigments can actually change the color of the water and change it to red or brown or some other color and cause a red tide.
Several of these species produce some of the most potent natural toxins known to man.
They can make shellfish poisonous for human consumers. They can kill fish. They can cause whales or dolphins, manatees, and other marine animals and mammals to die. They can cause just all sorts of catastrophic effects.
Dr. Anderson is still confident about the safety of seafood.
Most countries, most states that have these problems in their history run monitoring programs And what they do is they go out at appropriate times of the year, collect shellfish, and analyze them for these toxins.
Scientists believe these outbreaks can occur for a number of reasons. In some areas, sewage, pollution, and coastal development contribute by increasing the concentration of nutrients in the water. The algae feed off nitrogen and phosphorus found in these nutrients. In some areas, the winds and tides transport the blooms to new waters. Finding a harmless solution is a difficult challenge. Dr. Anderson is working on a technique commonly used in Korea to control red tide blooms.
One of the mechanisms that they use is simply to sprinkle clay, simple clay, on the surface of the water. When the clay hits this salt water, the small particles tend to come together. It's called flocculation, and make bigger particles.
As the algae stick to the clay grains, the particles become larger and fall to the bottom, leaving the water clear of the harmful algal cells. The bloom is made much smaller and less dangerous. But what happens to the toxins carried to the bottom? Scientists have a lot more research ahead before they have complete answers. In the long term, in order to put a lock on these expanding red tides and other harmful algal blooms, scientists say we should start by taking better care of our coastal waters.
Stay tuned to the Science Channel for future updates on science of the deep.
You're watching the Science Channel. Coming up next, talk about old school. Roam the planet and head back to the age of the dinosaurs. Prehistoric Worlds is next, only on the Science Channel.
Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for 150 million years, surviving, evolving, flourishing. Then mysteriously, they vanished. To find out why, scientists search the void of outer space. They comb the hot sands of the desert. And they plumb the depths of the ocean. Some believe the answer is locked up in chunks of amber. Everywhere they look, they're finding compelling clues about why the Earth was once ruled by dinosaurs. And then there were none. "65 million years ago, the world was teeming with dinosaurs. But then an unimaginable disaster happened. A giant asteroid came screaming toward Earth at 60,000 miles per hour. It burst through the atmosphere and smashed into the planet. Fiery debris was thrown thousands of miles, causing death and destruction. Smoke and dust formed a giant cloud that enveloped the Earth, blotting out the sun and drenching the land with lethal acid rain. The planet was plunged into icy darkness. Photosynthesis stopped. Vegetation withered. In the gloom, plant-eating dinosaurs starved to death. The meat-eaters soon followed. In one swift, terrible catastrophe, the dinosaurs' 150 million-year reign came to an end. It's a compelling story and a popular notion. But is that the way it really happened? Many scientists believe it's only part of the story. They feel that an asteroid impact alone couldn't have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. Their quest for a hidden lethal factor behind the extinction has led them to look in the most unlikely places, even the bottom of the ocean. Today, a research team is heading toward the coast of Mexico on board 90's Resolution. Once an oil drilling ship, now converted into the world's biggest and most technologically sophisticated floating lab. University of Rhode Island oceanographer Haraldur Sigurdsson is taking his team close to the site of the asteroid impact, now partially buried beneath the sea. He's convinced that the only way the blast could have wiped out the dinosaurs was if it struck extremely rare terrain. Throughout the 20th century, many theories were bounced back and forth. However, all had one thing in common with earlier ideas. They couldn't be supported by hard evidence. Then, in 1978, in a limestone gorge in central Italy, a geologist named Walter Alvarez made a discovery that took the dinosaurs' extinction out of the realm of guesswork. Alvarez noticed a strange thin dark line of clay between two layers of sediment, dating back roughly 65 million years. Below the unusual clay is limestone from the Cretaceous, a period in which the dinosaurs were thriving. Above it is the Tertiary period, when all the dinosaurs and many other life forms disappeared from the fossil record. Because the layer divides these two geologic periods, it's known as the KT boundary. The C was changed to K because C had already been used to describe another geological time period. Alvarez brought a sample of the thin clay layer back to the lab for analysis. There, his team discovered something strange. It had over 30 times the normal concentration of a rare metal called iridium. Stranger still, other researchers soon reported the same clay layer at sites around the world, always loaded with iridium. Then, with the help of his father, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, and other colleagues, Alvarez came up with a daring new theory. Since iridium is rare on Earth's surface, but common in asteroids, he deduced that 65 million years ago, a 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into the Earth and vaporized, showering the globe with clouds of iridium-rich dust and other debris. Because this phenomenon coincided with the extinction of the dinosaurs, they developed the now well-known scenario for the dinosaurs' sudden death by a killer asteroid. But critics were quick to point out that iridium at that level isn't found only in asteroids. It's also in the Earth's core. So maybe the dust clouds spewed from volcanic eruptions. Scientists have found evidence of extraordinary lava flows in India that coincide with the dinosaur extinction. But it's uncertain whether the eruptions were vast enough to cause worldwide extinction. Meanwhile, if Alvarez and his supporters wanted to prove their case, they needed to find a huge crater somewhere on Earth's surface. According to their calculations, it should be about 112 miles in diameter and 65 million years old. Soon, several candidates were spotted. One in Canada, another in Iowa. But the Canadian crater was too old, and neither crater was big enough. Then, in 1990, the elusive crater was finally discovered just off the coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, mostly beneath the Caribbean Sea. It was named the Chicxulub crater. Though the crater had been found, a crucial question remained. Was the impact alone enough to cause the extinction of the dinosaurs and half the life on Earth? The team aboard the 90's Resolution is out to prove that it wasn't. Their leader, Haraldur Sigurdsson, thinks there was more to it. His team is here in the Caribbean Sea to explore sediments from the KT boundary that surround the submerged Chicxulub crater. They're hoping to find evidence that the rock layers hit by the asteroid were rich in sulfur, which would have worsened the aftermath of the explosion. The research ship will drill not into the underwater crater itself, but into several spots on its periphery.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us. You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel.
Moo. For an incredible bargain on a computer, just call 1-800-GATEWAY. Because right now, you can get a Gateway 300 SE desktop fully loaded with an Intel Celeron processor, 128 megabytes of memory, and a monitor, all for just $5.99. That's right, a Gateway computer with a monitor for just $5.99. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. So call 1-800-GATEWAY today. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
Are you losing your hair? Is that bald spot getting bigger?
Medical studies have reported the body chemical DHT is the leading cause of hair loss. We've developed Avacor, a natural herbal treatment that stops DHT from attacking your hair follicles. Avacor regrows hair in balding areas. We guarantee it. Stop DHT from ruining your life.
Call 888-684-0256. Use Avacor risk-free for 3 full months. Call 888-684-0256.
Ki means energy, harmony, beauty. Inside the yoga tradition of the Nat, stretch and contract is the secret to fitness, to health, to peace. This is the miracle of the Ki Energizer, the way to a leaner body, higher muscle tone, and increased stamina.
The Ki Energizer can contribute to a more stable core and tighter and more thought out. People will want to use it because they will see results. Their abs will become stronger and they will feel better about themselves. The Ki Energizer is an excellent way of starting an exercise program. This is the kind of thing that a busy executive could throw into a bag and take traveling.
The Ki Energizer is only $29.99. So call now and get the amazing Ki Energizer and Ki Energizer Fit and Trim video for only $29.99.
The Science Channel, organized to maximize your viewing experience. Each night, we've got a different theme block, a collection of shows on the same science subject. Every week, you'll find our theme blocks at the same time, giving you consistent places to see your favorite kinds of science, from the microscopic to the cosmic. The Science Channel's theme blocks, the best way to feed your need for science, only on the Science Channel. We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
One of the objectives of our expedition is to drill into the seafloor in the Caribbean in order to recover material from the boundary layer or from the deposit that was ejected by this great impact.
The drill team pushes a pipe thousands of feet long through a hole in the bottom of the ship. On the end of the pipe is a drill bit with super hard tungsten carbide teeth that can chew through rock. A sonar beacon sends sound waves to the ship, guiding the drill into a cone already set on the seafloor. Sand and rock layers beneath the ocean floor get pushed up the pipe to form a core that the scientists will study. To retrieve just one sample, it takes a total of 4 hours. When they pull the drill back to the surface, the core will have the same layers in the same order as the undersea rock itself. But the KT boundary layer they're looking for is thin, making it extremely difficult to locate beneath a mile of water. Will the team find it? There's no way of knowing until they get the core into the lab. The team aboard the Juarez Resolution anxiously awaits the retrieval of a core containing sediment from the seafloor. If it holds the crucial KT boundary layer, they'll begin to look for evidence that the killing power of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs was amplified by its collision with sulfur-rich rocks. After the core is recovered and cut into manageable sections, it's sliced down the middle at the splitting station. Half will be saved for later study. The other half goes directly to the onboard lab.
Well, let's see what we got here. Looks like a great core.
Now, Haraldur Sigurdsson and his team can examine the core to see if it contains the dark clay boundary layer. The drilling was a success. The layer is right there in the middle of the core.
To pin that down.
Well, we need to get a sample from somewhere down in here. We should see. It might be in the upper part of this.
One end is from the Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs were still alive. The other end is from the Tertiary, after they died out. And in between is the KT layer that marks the dinosaurs' last days on Earth. But Sigurdsson leaves nothing to chance. He has to be sure that he's really found debris thrown from the impact. For that, he'll study a sample under the microscope to look for the unmistakable signs of an asteroid explosion. The energy of such a blast is so enormous, it melts the underlying rock. Globs of liquid rock are flung into the sky. The molten rock cools as it falls to Earth. Some turns into tiny glass beads, or tektites, which fall like rain all around the Earth. At the same time, the blast shatters grains of the mineral quartz in a distinctive way. It's called shocked quartz. Under the microscope, they find the shocked quartz. It's clearly sheared and shattered by the force of the explosion. Then they find the distinctive glass beads, the tektites. The two discoveries prove they pinpointed the ejected material. Now Sigurdsson and his team can begin to analyze the tektites for sulfur content. Careful chemical analysis later shows that Sigurdsson found what he wanted. The tektites contain a high level of sulfur, indicating the asteroid struck sediment that was rich in a mineral called gypsum. According to Sigurdsson, the energy of the impact would have vaporized the gypsum into a huge cloud of sulfur dioxide. As it spread through the upper atmosphere, it changed into sulfuric acid. Particles of the sulfuric acid acted like trillions of lenses, reflecting the sunlight away from the Earth. The deadly veil would have blocked out sunlight to a greater degree than anyone imagined. For an entire year, the world must have been dark and frozen, leaving no chance for the dinosaurs to survive. It was an incredible twist of fate that the asteroid hit where it did. It was like a bomb hitting a powder keg. Even more astonishing, less than 1% of the Earth's crust has this kind of sulfur-rich rock. If the asteroid had hit almost anywhere else, the dinosaurs might have survived. In the ship's lab, the team finds evidence of the impact's effect on creatures that lived in the sea, where apparently even more life was wiped out than on land.
You're in the lab on ship.
University of Rhode Island paleontologist Stephen DeHunt put limestone from the core under a microscope.
If you take a look at the rock that's below the impact layer here, you see the skeletons of small animals that floated around in the surface ocean eating phytoplankton. This rock is composed almost entirely of their skeletons. We have in this picture probably 8 or 9 different varieties.
But just a centimeter above the impact layer, a totally different world appears.
We see a rock that's just got a few scattered, lonely little individuals here and there. These three dots right here comprise the skeleton of one of the few species that actually survived the impact event. Before, the ocean was filled with all these other varieties. After the event, nothing left.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Does your lipstick smudge, smear, and come off in no time at all? Introducing IGEA Permanent Kiss, the permanent lipstick that stays on until you wash it off. IGEA Permanent Kiss goes from morning to night without ever having to touch up. Guaranteed. Ordinary lipstick smudge and feather and come off even after you blot. The color ends up on your teeth or a loved one. IGEA Permanent Kiss dries in seconds so you can kiss with confidence and never have to worry about embarrassing lipstick marks. Look, ordinary lipstick comes right off, but with Permanent Kiss, the color stays on your lips. The secret is the special formulation that coats and moisturizes your lips for hours or even days if you want of perfect, long-lasting lip color. And Permanent Kiss is completely waterproof, so you won't have to reapply. IGEA Permanent Kiss won't budge, won't smudge, and won't stain clothing. Would you do this with your ordinary lipstick? It will always look as if you just put it on, and you'll feel free to smile and look your best all day long. When you order, you'll receive 2 colors of IGEA Permanent Kiss, Hot Tamale Red and Luscious Mango. And if you call right now, we'll double your order. That's 4 stylish colors: the Hot Tamale Red, Luscious Mango, Sunny Coral, and Copper Bronze. Plus a bonus bottle of Sexy Gloss to add shine for beautiful full lips, all for just $29.99. And there's more. You'll also get the lighted 5x magnification travel mirror. Cordless and compact, it fits easily in your purse when you're on the go. A $30 value, yours absolutely free. We guarantee that IGEA Permanent Kiss won't smudge and won't come off until you want it to, or your money back. So call the number on your screen to get your IGEA Permanent Kiss and free mirror right now.
Call 1-800-696-1212 to order IGEA Permanent Kiss for only $29.99. IGEA Permanent Kiss comes in 4 fantastic colors. You'll also get the lighted 5x magnification mirror, absolutely free as our gift to you. You can also order by check over the phone.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex. Who said change isn't easy?
They're our best friends, constant companions. We love them like family. But do we ever really know what they're thinking? Meet someone who can read their minds in Animal Planet's new series, The Pet Psychic. Sonia Fitzpatrick will reveal exactly what your pet thinks.
My, aren't they chatty?
Don't miss our new series, The Pet Psychic. Tonight at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Animals don't lie.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
In the final days of the dinosaurs, this part of North Dakota was a lush forest. And the soft sandstone the fossils are found in tells Johnson that a stream once ran through this area. The fossils formed when leaves dropped into the stream and were buried by sand. Over time, the stream dried up, and sandy layers slowly turned to rock, while minerals entered into the leaves and turned them into fossils. What's left millions of years later is a record of the once green and steamy landscape that dinosaurs lived in. But then the asteroid hit, and everything changed.
After the boundary, the plant species diversity plummets. It's a real barren wasteland up there. I mean, it's still forests, but the forests have 5 or 6 different kinds of plants. Down here in the Cretaceous, 60 or 70 species of plants.
Having collected more than 20,000 fossil leaves from above and below the KT boundary, Johnson calculates that 80% of the plant life here disappeared after the impact. Proof that the asteroid wiped out not just the dinosaurs, but entire ecosystems. Still, a mystery remains. Many small creatures made it through the crisis. Unlike dinosaurs, their fossils appear above the KT boundary.
We find our crocodiles, alligators, turtles, snakes, lizards, and mammals, and birds, frogs, things like that. But all small animals, and one of the things that all small animals share, besides their small body size, is they have pretty large populations. So there's a lot more mice than there are elephants, for instance. And so that's one of the things that probably made the dinosaurs vulnerable, was the fact that they were large animals, and as a result had probably relatively small population size.
So, does a solution simply lie in the large numbers of little animals, guaranteeing that some would survive the harsh aftermath of the impact? Or was there something else going on? Even today, the puzzle of the dinosaurs' disappearance remains unsolved. Scientists still bitterly dispute the cause. The asteroid theory may be popular, but many don't accept it. By probing further, they've found clues hinting at other agents of death and offer explanations as to why some creatures survived. At the Tate Museum in Casper, Wyoming, one of paleontology's most original thinkers, Bob Bacher, has devised his own solution by looking at the big picture.
We dinosaur scientists have a KT fixation. There are conferences about the KT, there are books about the KT, there are TV programs about the KT. That's a bit of a mistake, because if you want to know why the dinosaurs died at the end of the Cretaceous, you've got to put them in context. That wasn't the only ecosystem collapse. There were 5 or 10 or 15 others. You've got to study the KT by comparing it to the end of the Jurassic, and the end of the Triassic, and the end of the Permian, and the extinctions that hit animals long after the Cretaceous. Put the KT in context, and then you'll find out who killed T-Rex.
Besides the dinosaurs, there have actually been at least 5 mass extinctions throughout the history of our world. In fact, extinction seems to be the rule. Many scientists agree that 90% of all creatures that have ever lived are now extinct. Studying these mass extinctions, Bacher found that they all had something in common. He uses the Jurassic extinction as an example.
At the end of the Jurassic, this system collapsed. The top predators, the allosaurs, went extinct. Their prey, the brontosaurs, were nearly totally exterminated. The plant-eating stegosaurs became very rare. In the oceans, there were extinction. What did it? The pattern of dying is the same you see at the KT boundary, the end of the Cretaceous. In fact, every time there's an extinction on land, it happens the same way. The victim profile is the same. It's the big active predators and the big active plant eaters who die. There would be extinctions after the KT. There were extinctions before the Jurassic, and all of them have the same MO, modus operandi. You want to know why the allosaurs went extinct? You have to find the serial killer that attacks the land ecosystem.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Every garden hose ends up in the same way, tangled, trampled, or torn. Hi, I'm Pat Murphy-Stark for the Invention Channel, here to show you a revolutionary new garden hose. It's the new Roll-A-Hose, the compact, lightweight garden hose that rolls up the store on its own reel. Look, ordinary garden hoses are rigid and heavy. It's a job to store them. But watch this. Roll-A-Hose lays completely flat, just like the hose from a fire truck. But when you turn on the faucet, the water flows freely. It's flexible, so it rolls up neatly, completely. It's so lightweight, anyone can do it in minutes. Dragging that heavy hose from faucet to faucet is a dirty job. But Roll-A-Hose is so lightweight, moving it is no problem. Move it to water your plants out on the patio. Move it to clean the pool area, your deck, or your porch. Move it to wash your car. Then when you're done, store it in the trunk. It's It's so easy to move. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Roller hose is compact, so it stores in any cabinet. Other flat hoses snag and pull, but the roller hose weave resists snagging. It's so durable, it's strong enough to tow a truck, and it's guaranteed not to split or break for a full 10 years. The amazing roller hose with built-in reel for just $19.99. Other hoses are only 25 feet, but we give you 50 feet. That's twice the hose for the same price. And as a free gift, we'll send you the RotoSpray adjustable spray gun with 4 special settings. It's a $10 value free. But here's an even better deal. All of today's callers will also receive Mighty Sweep, the water-powered broom. The powerful spray means dirt and debris sweep away. It cleans a 3-foot-wide path, ideal for debris on bricks, decks, driveways, and more. And it's free. Just pay shipping and handling. You get it all. The double-length 50-foot roller hose, the RotoSpray, and the Mighty Sweep. A $60 value, just $19.99.
Call 1-800-510-4548 to order roller hose with a 10-year guarantee for just $19.99. You'll also get the Mighty Sweep free plus shipping. So call 1-800-510-4548. That's 1-800-510-4548.
A new name, a new look, but we're still your best source for science programming on TV today. Stay with the Science Channel.
Pets, they're part of your family. But pet care, especially pet medication, costs a lot. Until now. Save up to 50% and more at Pet Care RX on medications, including prescriptions and all your pet's other health needs. Pet Care RX carries all heartworm medicines, all flea and tick medicines, and all chronic illness medicines. All delivered direct and all at savings up to 50%. Even more on some medications. Have your credit card ready and go to petcarerx.com or call 1-800-369-5417 and see what you can save. Order now and get the exact same medicines, the same brands you're currently using, for up to 50% less. Visit petcarerx.com or call 1-800-369-5417. PetCareRx. Brands you count on, savings that count.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
What caused the large dinosaurs to die at the end of both periods? According to Bacher, every extinction has coincided with a drop in global sea levels. This left land bridges connecting previously isolated continents. Dinosaurs that were living on a single landmass could then easily spread from one continent to another. But they carried with them latent diseases from their own habitats. When they came in contact with groups of dinosaurs from new habitats, diseases would be transmitted. Without immunities to new diseases, one group would be killed off by an epidemic. Eventually, entire populations would collapse. But what about the smaller animals? According to Bacher, it was easy for large dinosaurs to roam long distances across land bridges, but difficult for small animals. Even a shallow river could block their progress. With the big dinosaurs gone, niches opened up for those who hung on. In the hills of Como Bluff, Wyoming, Bacher has found evidence of survivors of the Jurassic extinction, which shows a similar pattern to the extinction at the KT boundary.
The extinction of dinosaurs at the end of the Jurassic was an opportunity for other species. If you lived in fresh water, if you were a turtle or a crocodile, you enjoyed the event. Turtle evolution speeds up during this extinction time. And if you were something else, too, you enjoyed the event. If you were small and hot-blooded and furry, if you belonged to our class, the class Mammalia, your evolution, too, took advantage of this opportunity.
So each time an extinction occurs, opportunities are created for the survivors. For another scientist, the surviving creatures at the KT boundary provide evidence for another novel theory of the dinosaurs' demise. He believes they weren't killed by a sudden asteroid explosion or disease, but by something in the air.
Now we can just gently...
Every summer, paleontologist Keith Rigby of Notre Dame University comes to the Badlands of Montana to hunt for fossils. What he finds here tells a different story of the dinosaur's extinction 65 million years ago.
We're looking right here at what some say is the Cretaceous-Tertiary boundary, black streak in the hillside right here. Some say this is where an asteroid hit the Earth, killed the dinosaurs, and everything was wiped out in more or less an afternoon. What we're finding out is that it's different than that.
The startling evidence he's found is the product of extensive teamwork. His students and volunteers aren't looking for prize museum specimens. Instead, their goal is to collect thousands of tiny bone fragments and teeth from many creatures. These will allow Rigby to build a broad picture of entire animal populations. He thinks tracing how these populations changed over time is the best way to study the cause of the extinction. It's demanding work. Every day, his diggers shovel out a couple of tons of dirt. But this is no ordinary dirt. It comes from near the KT boundary and contains hundreds of small fossils. Some of the sacks are filled with sediment taken from below the boundary in the Cretaceous period. And others contain sediment from above in the Tertiary. Each is carefully labeled. The team hauls the bags to a nearby reservoir. Here, the contents of the sacks are emptied into strainers. Each layer is kept separate. Next, it's time to head for the water. The water rinses away the sand and clay so that only hard material remains. Mostly rock turns up, but tiny broken up fossil bones and teeth are also revealed. Back on dry land, the rocky debris is picked out, leaving only fossils. Finding these fragments is the hardest part of the work. The trick is knowing which are rock and which are fossil. It takes a discerning eye. Though the fossils aren't much to look at, there are lots of them from a wide range of ancient animals. Not only dinosaurs, but alligators, salamanders, turtles, even tiny mammals. Back in the lab, the bones are sorted according to whether they were found in Cretaceous or Tertiary layers. Then they're organized by species. This will give Rigby an indication of which animals survived the KT boundary event and which did not. By tracing the fate of a wide variety of animals, Rigby creates a kind of snapshot of the entire living world in the Cretaceous and Tertiary periods. If there was a sudden catastrophe, it should show up as a clean break in the fossil record of many species at the KT boundary. But in fact, Rigby has found just the opposite. His work shows that the dinosaurs' extinction unfolded slowly, too slowly for an asteroid to have been the cause, and was already underway long before the asteroid hit. What's more, Rigby discovered that the smaller animals that became extinct around the time of the impact did so gradually, not in one single swift moment. At the same time, other species survived unharmed. And most surprising, small mammals began to diversify and expand.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
Do you need to know how to operate a computer? Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. It seems like everywhere I go these days, somebody is recognizing me as the Video Professor. Now, that's because we've been teaching people how to operate computers for over 14 years now. You know, our product is quick, it's easy to learn with, and you can try it for free. You know, over the years, millions of people have learned how to run their computer using our product. We get happy letters and emails every day thanking us. Albert emails us, I have to say, you have by far the best learning tool I have ever seen. Debbie from Florida writes, the lessons are just what I was looking for to help me pursue my career goals. But the most rewarding thing for me is having people stop me on the street and tell me just how easy it was for them to learn to run their computer using our product. They've tried expensive classes, they've tried big, thick manuals, they couldn't get it. If you just want to learn how to run a computer once and for all, save yourself a lot of time, a lot of energy, try my product. Let me show you how easy this is. Put your CD in the CD tray, your lesson will come up. The lesson plays right on your computer. It works just like a VCR. You have a play button, pause, rewind, fast forward. Just follow the step-by-step instructions. You know, I'm so confident my product will work for you, I'm going to send it to you absolutely free. Compare this to a lesson costing $60. You just pay a small shipping and handling. The reason I'm going to do this is because I know that once you try my product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs. And if this doesn't teach you how to run a computer, I'll even refund your shipping and handling. So what do you got to lose? Try my product.
Call Video Professor now for your free lesson. Choose from Windows, Word, Quicken, the Internet, and many more. Call in the next 10 minutes, and this free gift will be yours. The Anytime Organizer is the calendar, diary, address book, and journal on your PC, so you'll never miss an appointment again. Remember, you must call now to get your free CD and the extra free gift. So don't delay. Call now.
Call 1-800-301-9069.
Get ready to evolve, to look closer, to go deeper. This is the Science Channel, and the future is wow. From the minds behind the Discovery Channel and TLC, this is the Science Channel. You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel. We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
We've seen extinctions in the geologic record time and time again. They appear sudden in the geologic record, but this is thousands, tens of thousands of years to take to accomplish this sudden geologic event. It takes time. It appears suddenly in the geologic record, but in our frame of reference, in our lifetimes, it's many generations, 10,000, 100,000 years, condensed to appear in the geologic record as sudden, but in reality is quite a long period of time.
But if dinosaur extinction was already underway long before the asteroid hit, what caused it? Rigby and his colleagues have come up with a clever and controversial answer. He thinks the solution lies inside chunks of amber. But this is no Jurassic Park. He isn't trying to bring back the dinosaurs. He wants to figure out why they disappeared. Amber is formed from hardened pine resin, a protective substance found on the surface of trees. The sticky resin flows down the tree, trapping bugs, dirt, even bubbles of air. After a while, it solidifies, preserving everything inside. In its fossilized form, it's called amber. Rigby's team has dug up chunks of amber preserved inside layers of rock from the Cretaceous, the last period of the dinosaurs. What they're looking for is amber chunks that have bubbles trapped inside. The bubbles, they believe, contain the air breathed by dinosaurs millions of years ago.
The clues that we found so far are incredibly interesting. we found that the atmosphere of the last of the dinosaurs is dramatically different than what we have now.
Could the air that dinosaurs breathed be different from today's? To find out, Rigby sends off the chunks of amber from his dig site to a lab in Denver. There, Gary Landis, a geochemist from the United States Geological Survey, will release the air from the bubbles for the first time in millions of years.
It's nothing short of phenomenal. It's really exciting. I mean, to hold a piece of a capsule that contains air from 60, 70, 100 million years ago is phenomenal. It's thoroughly thrilling.
But how can Landis be sure the air inside the bubbles is really that old? The ancient air may have leaked out, or new air leaked in. To show that amber is airtight, Landis devised a test. First, he placed samples of amber inside a nuclear reactor. The radiation converts potassium, found naturally in the amber, to the gas argon. Argon molecules are smaller than oxygen molecules and don't react with amber. So argon would escape from the amber more easily than oxygen. After monitoring the samples over a 3.5-year period, Landis found that the argon did not seep out, proving that amber is leak-proof. The next step is to release the air, to analyze its contents and see what secrets it tells about the fate of the dinosaurs. To do that, Landis puts amber from the Cretaceous inside a vacuum chamber. The machine slowly cracks and crushes the amber, unlocking the ancient air trapped in the bubbles. He then uses a mass spectrometer to measure the different elements of the air and identify its components. The results show the air breathed by the dinosaurs during the Middle Cretaceous was made of the same elements as today's. But there was one crucial difference. The amount of oxygen was dramatically higher, at nearly 35%. The air we breathe contains only 21% oxygen. By analyzing air samples ranging from the early Cretaceous to today, Landis found that oxygen levels have gradually dropped. Landis and Rigby believe the drop in oxygen levels is what slowly killed off the dinosaurs, while sparing other creatures, including mammals. Their theory includes recent studies that suggest dinosaurs may have lacked a diaphragm and relied on their giant chest muscles to flex their rib cages in order to breathe. The method was inefficient, but in an oxygen-rich environment, that wasn't a problem. As the air became thinner, however, the dinosaurs began to suffocate.
They were unable to move as rapidly and unable to chase down and make their kills in food. They were less capable of migrating to new pastures for grazing, for feed. And you might even speculate that an animal having difficulty breathing enough to maintain its normal activity would be far less interested even in sex and reproduction.
Meanwhile, small mammals prospered. They had a muscular diaphragm beneath their lungs that helped them breathe the oxygen-depleted air. Smaller reptiles without diaphragms hung on because of their lower metabolic needs. But what caused the oxygen level to drop? According to Rigby and Landis, in the middle period of dinosaurs, the Jurassic, Earth's land masses were rapidly shifting, causing great volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. The violent activity pumped large amounts of carbon dioxide into the air, which the trees converted to oxygen. It was a lush, oxygen-rich environment in which the dinosaurs thrived. Then, in the Cretaceous, land mass movements slowly settled down. With fewer eruptions, less carbon dioxide was spewed. Plant life withered, and oxygen levels dropped. Slowly, the dinosaurs died out. By the time the asteroid hit, the damage was already done. While the oxygen theory is controversial, many paleontologists agree that slow-acting, complex environmental changes contributed to the dinosaurs' demise.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
I love Chaco Canyon. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I never saw anything like this before I came out here. When you're in a place that's this magnificent, you feel like, as Americans, we should treasure all our natural resources. You can't explain the beauty of national parks to anyone. It's important for them to come out here and to experience it themselves. And once they come and they see, they'll take it home, and next thing you know, everyone will consider them treasures, because they are.
Discover how you can get involved at hundreds of national parks.
From America's #1 personal trainer, Tony Little, comes the country's most exciting way to lose weight, the revolutionary Gazelle Freestyle. 10 cardio, strength training, and stretching moves in one fun-filled, calorie-burning workout with almost zero impact.
I've lost 32 pounds in 7 months. Being over 300 pounds, it helped me lose over 200.
The Gazelle Freestyle has worked for these people and many more. Now you can try the Gazelle Freestyle before you buy. At home for 30 days for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Complete with onboard heart rate monitor and Tony Little's exclusive one-on-one personal trainer video.
Use the system for 30 days. If you don't fall in love with it, if you don't get results from it, if you don't like me, send it back.
This sensational Gazelle Freestyle $14.95 trial offer won't last long, so don't miss out. Call right now.
Call now to order a Gazelle Freestyle to try in your own home for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling.
You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel. We are the Science Channel. Stay with us.
At Kitt Peak Observatory near Tucson, Arizona, Jim Scotty is one of the astronomers who run a project called Space Watch. The team operates a telescope that keeps an eye out for asteroids and comets approaching Earth. Scotty has seen enough of them to be worried. To recognize impending disaster as early as possible, he bathes his telescope with liquid nitrogen to minimize distortion. The telescope automatically rotates throughout the night, constantly scanning the skies for asteroids or comets that might be headed our way. The view is recorded by a sensitive electronic camera attached to the telescope. The images are fed into a computer, which picks out the fast-moving asteroids against the background of stationary stars and planets.
On our computer screen, the slower-moving main-belt asteroids are indicated by flagging them with boxes and numbers indicating where the object is in the current image and was in the previous two images. Our computer software finds literally hundreds of main belt asteroids every night, but we're after the fast-moving asteroids that are potential Earth-crossing asteroids.
So the Space Watch team gets worried only if the computer tracks a rogue asteroid that's been kicked out of the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter and is heading toward Earth. They're finding about 3 a month. What are the chances we'll get hit? In fact, meteors, commonly known as shooting stars, hit us all the time. They're pieces of space debris smaller than an asteroid, but anything up to the size of a house will burn up in the atmosphere. A 100-foot asteroid strikes about once a century That's what blew out Meteor Crater near Flagstaff, Arizona, 50,000 years ago. As for a 6-mile-wide dinosaur killer, fortunately, scientists think it's a rare event, maybe once every 100 million years. But there's another threat to worry about: comets. These icy masses don't orbit the sun in a well-defined belt like the asteroids do. Many swing far out to the edge of the solar system beyond Pluto. They're fast-moving, so they can appear out of deep space with relatively little warning.
An object the size of the dinosaur killer, something like 10 or 20 kilometers in diameter, would be visible to our telescope with our current technology probably for only about a year or two.
Astronomers only had a 16-month warning when fragments of comet Shoemaker-Levy were spotted heading toward Jupiter. In July 1994, their telescopes recorded the impacts. The biggest was equal to a 1 million megaton bomb, leaving an impact site the size of planet Earth. What could we do if we only had a few months' notice of such a cataclysmic threat? With present technology, there's not a lot we can do. There are plenty of ideas about how to defend ourselves, like sending a nuclear bomb into space to blow it up.
But no matter what you do, you don't want to blow the asteroid to smithereens. That's not going to help you, because instead, you're not going to vaporize the asteroid, you're going to make it into a big rubble pile. And it's still going to hit the Earth.
It may take a more subtle approach to nudge an asteroid out of the way, maybe using microwave beams or solar sails. The Space Watch scientists think we should be trying to solve the problem.
Dinosaurs lasted for well over 100 million years, and they endured at least one other big impact event. But during all that time, they never quite got around to building an asteroid deflection system. So look what it got them. It got them fossilized.
Even if humans had been around at the time of the dinosaurs to develop Star Wars technology, we might not have saved them. Though new evidence strongly suggests that an asteroid was the agent of death, the dinosaurs may have already been on the way out, endangered by millions of years of global change to which they couldn't adapt fast enough. Or perhaps they dropped in droves from disease. For now, the dinosaurs' extinction remains a compelling mystery. But scientists are learning more about the forces of nature that caused it. Maybe one day they'll put all the pieces together, and in the process, gain insight about our own future.
You're watching the Science Channel. We know what you're thinking. The Science Channel? What happened to Discovery? Don't worry, only the name has changed. Same great programming, all new attitude. This is the Science Channel.
You don't have eyes in the back of your head, but have you ever felt the power of a stare? Is it coincidence, or is there some type of clairvoyance at work?
I think everybody has had the experience from time to time either of looking at someone and the person turning around, or having a funny feeling and turning around and someone's there.
So the question is it some kind of heightened peripheral vision? Are people able to detect someone staring at them out of the corners of their eyes, as it were? Or is there some kind of extra communication that happens in a staring encounter? When people report experiences of being stared at, often it's associated with something like tingles up the back of the neck, some kind of physiological response. It's my unconscious mind that is processing the distant staring effect. We've tried to measure this kind of staring effect by bringing people into the laboratory, trying to identify whether it's due to some extrasensory communication or whether it's due to direct sensory communication.
The experiment is simple. The subject's physiological responses are measured while someone stares at him by closed-circuit TV.
How do you know whether the person is, in quotes, receiving anything? Well, you can only do that by statistics. And it depends really on the coincidence between us doing something and something happening.
The results are inconclusive, varying according to who is conducting the research.
We carried out 4 studies around here and found absolutely no effect at all. All our results were at chance.
We have found significant changes in human physiology as a result of someone staring at the person from a distant room.
In the long run, I don't think it's about staring at all. In the long run, I think it's about saying that the scientific notions of the human body and the human mind and so on are incomplete, and that in fact, our minds are in some ways capable of separating from our bodies, of living on after our deaths and so forth. And there hasn't been any good replicated study that shows that staring has any effect at all.
Most say they can feel the power of a stare, but the cause is more likely coincidence. For Skeptical Inquirer, I'm William B. Davis.
You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel.
There was a time long ago when the earth shook with the footsteps of monsters. Giants so huge, so fearsome we can scarcely imagine them as living creatures. Not even the great T-Rex dared confront them. They were not dinosaurs. They survived. Their relatives still lie in wait at the edge of jungle rivers and at the edges of our deepest fears. They were the giant crocodiles, perhaps the greatest killers that have ever lived. This is a crocodile hunt, and few creatures strike such terror in our hearts. Their alien eyes reflect no feelings. Their smile holds no warmth. No sympathy runs through their cold blood. They are dragons from an older age. The greatest predators of a long-lost world. That forgotten world is slowly coming to light, and its secrets are of stunning proportions. Once there were giant crocodiles that thrived alongside the dinosaurs, and today two have become known as the greatest of their kind. Their story is an extraordinary tale of extinction and survival, a tale that reveals why, after some 200 million years, the crocodile is still smiling. Our hunt begins in an unexpected place, the high desert landscape of southern Texas. This is Big Bend National Park at the end of the 20th century. But another world once stood here, and we must ride back on the hot, dry winds of time to find it. Some 75 million years ago, Big Bend was a very different wilderness. The dinosaurs had yet to meet their cataclysmic end, and they flourished here in a lush tropical jungle rich with tidal marshes and lagoons. Rivers found their way south to the shallow sea, and groups of hadrosaurs would have stopped here for a drink, never suspecting they were risking their lives. Waiting for them in the murky waters was a monster called Deinosuchus. Its name means terrible crocodile, and it dealt in terrible death. In one awful instant, thirsty hadrosaurs were face to face with gaping jaws and a killer that used the river to cover its tracks. Now, 75 million years later, the dried-out riverbed is giving up its own victims, surrendering to the wind the bones it buried so long ago. News of some extraordinary bones brings a team of paleontologists out into the desert. They have come a long way to track down a crocodile that after millions of years still knows where to hide. Leading the team is veteran crocodile expert, Professor Juan Langston of the University of Texas. He is joined by crocodile expert Art Busby and young paleontologist Chris Brochu. Heading deep into the wilderness of Big Bend, they follow the course of the ancient riverbed, leading to the most significant find of Deinosuchus fossils in 30 years.
Well, any discovery of a Deinosuchus is exciting because they're so rare. I've been looking for fossils in the Big Bend since 1938. I've perhaps seen a couple of dozen fragmentary pieces of Deinosuchus in that period of time. So we know they were here. We've got to keep looking for them. Every time you find a piece, perhaps it'll be a whole crocodile.
The team have planned to spend a week in the field here to search for more fossil evidence of the mighty crocodile. It's detective work that requires keen powers of observation. Only the trained eye of the expert paleontologist can pick out the bones from the bedrock. This jawbone of Deinosuchus was excavated by Langston in Big Bend in the 1960s. From the ratio of head to body found in crocodiles today, Langston can pace out the creature's full length.
30 feet.
The estimates reveal the fearsome probability that this predator measured at least 30 feet long, stood 4 feet high, and weighed more than 10,000 pounds. Here was a creature that could hunt on land and in water, a creature of flesh and blood, teeth and bone, as massive as an 18-wheeler.
You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel.
Does your lipstick smudge, smear, and come off in no time at all? Introducing IGEA Permanent Kiss, the permanent lipstick that stays on until you wash it off. IGEA Permanent Kiss goes from morning to night without ever having to touch up. Guaranteed. Ordinary lipstick smudge and feather and come off even after you blot. The color ends up on your teeth or a loved one. IGEA Permanent Kiss dries in seconds so you can kiss with confidence and never have to worry about embarrassing lipstick marks. Look, ordinary lipstick comes right off, but with Permanent Kiss, the color stays on your lips. The secret is the special formulation that coats and moisturizes your lips for hours or even days if you want of perfect, long-lasting lip color. And Permanent Kiss is completely waterproof, so you won't have to reapply. IGEA Permanent Kiss won't fudge, won't smudge, and won't stain clothing. Would you do this with your ordinary lipstick? It will always look as if you just put it on, and you'll feel free to smile and look your best all day long. When you order, you'll receive 2 colors of IGEA Permanent Kiss, Hot Tamale Red and Luscious Mango. And if you call right now, we'll double your order. That's 4 stylish colors: the Hot Tamale Red, Luscious Mango, Sunny Coral, and Copper Bronze. Plus a bonus bottle of Sexy Gloss to add shine for beautiful full lips, all for just $29.99. And there's more. You'll also get the lighted 5x magnification travel mirror. Cordless and compact, it fits easily in your purse when you're on the go. A $30 $20 value, yours absolutely free. We guarantee that IGEA Permanent Kiss won't smudge and won't come off until you want it to, or your money back. So call the number on your screen to get your IGEA Permanent Kiss and free mirror right now.
Call 1-800-696-1212 to order IGEA Permanent Kiss for only $29.99. IGEA Permanent Kiss comes in 4 fantastic colors. You'll also get the lighted 5x magnification mirror, absolutely free as our gift to you. You can also order by check over the phone.
Now you can create your own beautiful backyard oasis, complete with a sparkling water feature, soothing waterfall, and impressive boulders. What better way to enhance the beauty of your garden as well as the value of your home? Imagine a synthetic boulder water feature with the look and feel of real rock. You'd have to pay a specialty contractor over $7,000 to create this beautiful oasis. But now you can do it yourself for under $700. And you'll find everything you need at any major home improvement center.
We did it ourselves.
Pro Rock made it easy and affordable.
Order the Pro Rock Water Feature Video and Tech Manual today. Over 2 hours of comprehensive and easy-to-follow instructions guiding you step-by-step in creating a high-quality permanent water feature complete with synthetic boulders. The School of Synthetic Rock Construction, America's #1 trainer of contractors in the industry, will train you to create these amazingly strong yet realistic boulders and a beautiful waterfall pond through this special video offer. Call today and create your own beautiful backyard oasis. Just one easy payment of $49 will save you thousands. Call now.
Get ready to evolve, to look closer, to go deeper. This is the Science Channel, and the future is wow. From the minds behind the Discovery Channel and TLC, this is the Science Channel.
In the wake of the terrorist attacks, America has truly come together.
Prayer services, blood drives, children collecting pennies. Americans responded with a spirit that underscores what's best about our country.
But we can do more. To help those families devastated September 11th, we should make certain a college education is available to each and every one of their children.
We can do that with your help. Call today and donate to the Families of Freedom Scholarship Fund. Helping these families will show just how much we care.
75 million years ago, the moon looked down on a very different Texas. At the edge of tropical rivers and swamps, Deinosuchus, the terrible crocodile of Big Bend, looked for something to eat. It would have found hadrosaurs, 30-foot vegetarians that grazed at the water's edge. Hadrosaur bones have been found alongside those of Deinosuchus, linked forever in death. But from the time of their earliest origins, they were connected as more than just predator and prey. Over 200 million years ago, crocodiles and dinosaurs shared a common ancestry. Since then, the crocodiles have made their own way through the twists and turns of evolution. The earliest crocodile was a modest reptile about 3 feet in length. The generations that followed evolved into both marine animals and the semi-aquatic ancestors of today's crocodiles around the world. Along the way, they experimented with incredible forms. As well as the giant ones, there were crocodiles with hooves, and even a distinct line of crocodiles with fins. Art Busby studies the hunting techniques of modern crocodiles to gain insight into the behavior of their ancient relatives.
Based on the size of this massive lower jaw of Deinosuchus and comparison with modern crocodilians like this alligator, we can look at how far it can open its jaws. I would say that Deinosuchus could open its jaws at least 2 or 3 feet, and this would have allowed it to take down small dinosaurs. Deinosuchus had a skull that was shaped more like this modern crocodile, although of course much, much larger. Crocodiles eat by waiting at the water's edge, and then when the prey gets close, they open their mouth and lunge forward, grab the prey, roll, pull the prey back into the water so that they can drown it.
Imagine a crocodile more than twice this size, a 30-foot hadrosaur in its jaws, a clash of titans. But the contest between dinosaurs and crocodiles was soon to be over. For some mysterious reason, the dinosaurs were to die out, leaving room for the greatest crocodile the world has ever known. Cancer.
The doctor walked into the room and said, "You have cancer, and it's inoperable. You have only 6 months to live." So I turned to my wife and said, 33 years together is not enough. So I decided to fight, and I started looking for options. Our daughter, who is a nurse, told me about Cancer Treatment Centers of America. It's like no hospital you've ever seen. They treated me, the whole person, not just my tumor, with the latest medical technology, nutrition, and supplements to stimulate my immune system to fight my cancer.
To find out about alternative treatment options at our hospitals, call toll-free 1-888-771-1911.
It's been 7 years now. I beat cancer, and so can you.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America, winning the fight against cancer every day.
How would you like to lose weight without giving up the delicious high-carbohydrate foods you love? Well, now you can. Introducing amazing all-natural CarboSlim. CarboSlim is the weight loss secret that's changing the way people diet. It's helped thousands of people get slimmer, healthier, more attractive bodies without giving up their favorite foods and without difficult low-carb diets. The CarboSlim secret is in the proven carb-fighting technology that stops fattening carbohydrates from being converted into ugly body fat. It also reduces cravings and increases endurance. Simply take one CarboSlim tablet before eating a meal for natural protection from fattening carbs. 100% safe and natural with no stimulants and no unwanted side effects. Now enjoy your favorite foods guilt-free. Not available in stores, satisfaction guaranteed. Have your credit card ready and call or go online to order CarboSlim for just $29.95 plus shipping. Order during this special TV offer and also receive this slimming diet system, a $20 value absolutely free. Call now.
They're our best friends, constant companions. We love them like family. But do we ever really know what they're thinking? Meet someone who can read their minds in Animal Planet's new series, The Pet Psychic. Sonia Fitzpatrick will reveal exactly what your pet thinks.
My, aren't they chatty?
Don't miss our new series, The Pet Psychic. Tonight at 8, only on Animal Planet.
Animals don't lie.
The Discovery experience is now at hand in extraordinary books that let you explore your world. Visit your bookseller today and begin your own Discovery adventure.
We're uncovering your past on the Science Channel's Prehistoric Planet. Stay with us.
In one of the greatest mysteries in the history of life on Earth, the dinosaurs, the ruling reptiles, disappeared. And stranger still was the survival of their close relative, the crocodile. Whatever killed the dinosaurs did not affect them. And once the dinosaurs were gone, crocodiles became the mightiest creatures on Earth. It was here, deep in the Amazon basin, that crocodiles reached their fearful zenith. Rare fossil fragments tell of a leviathan known as Porosaurus. In 1986, having heard rumors of this river giant, paleontologist Dr. David Fraley from Johnson Community College in Kansas came to the Amazon basin on a crocodile hunt of his own. For 3 weeks, Fraley traveled along thousands of miles of tributaries, scanning the banks for just the right sediments. These are waters where crocodilians still abound. Alligators and caimans may lurk just beneath the peaceful surface. Fraley's expedition penetrated deep into the western headwaters of the Amazon, wild country scarcely explored even today. It wasn't until just before he was due to leave that he found what he was searching for, the fossil find of a lifetime.
This is a tremendous animal. It was known, this Purosaurus has been known since 1892, and we'd find pieces of it. We'd find a fragment here, a tooth along the way, and we knew they were around, but we really didn't expect to find anything like this. It's a little hard to imagine such a giant creature.
It was a stroke of incredible luck. In a warm, wet tropical climate, organic matter, even bone, decays rapidly. This fossil had somehow worked its way to the surface still intact. Even so, this was one croc that almost got away.
It's hard to believe that you can miss a fossil that's sitting out in plain sight. And yet we walked right by it the first time, working our way as we usually do, working and making our stops as we go up the river. This had not looked like a very likely sight, and we'd gone right on by it. And then coming back, it was sort of an accident, really, to stop and check out that one locality.
Climbing down to double-check a small area of exposed riverbank, Fraley was amazed to find the upturned crocodile skull.
There it was, lying out in plain view, just completely in plain view, and knew that it was something spectacular.
The exposed tooth sockets could only be from an ancient meat-eater. This was physical proof that Purosaurus was larger than anyone had imagined. 30 miles downstream, the lower jaw of a Purosaurus was recovered and proved to be a perfect match. Fitted together, it made up the largest crocodile skull ever found. The complete head is 5 feet long, 2.5 feet wide, with massive 2-inch wide teeth. Based on the dimensions of this skull, Fraley estimates that Purosaurus was 50 feet long, up to 9 feet wide, and could have stood 5 feet high when walking. It would have weighed a massive 18 tons, 10 tons more than Tyrannosaurus rex, and nearly 3 times more than Deinosuchus. In order to understand why these crocs grew to such size, Fraley has been investigating the climate and habitats of the Amazon 10 million years ago. In Purosaurus time, the world was warmer, and the Amazon was not a river at all. Fraley believes that a massive lake system more than 2,000 miles wide covered almost the whole of Peru and western Brazil. And like the Amazon of today, it was a great theater of evolution. In warm, stable climates, animals do not face wide swings in living conditions, so they can specialize into a huge variety of species. In numerous swampy lagoons and brackish ponds, crocodiles, even giant ones, could easily lie hidden, waiting to ambush water turtles and slow-moving catfish. They may even have preyed on large mammals that came to drink in their waters, attacking with stealth and lightning speed. This was crocodile paradise. No other predator in this watery wilderness could compete with them. But something drove the Purosaurus to grow so huge, so fierce, so competitive, and the only rival it could have had was another Purosaurus.
Not only does an animal have to compete with other species for its place in nature, it also has to compete with members of its own species. They want exactly the same food, the same territory, the same nesting sites. Every requirement is the same. And in that sort of competition amongst the members of one species, giant size is a definite advantage. When you look at Purosaurus, the large size of that animal, the competition must have been extremely fierce.
Purosaurus' greatest enemies were others of its own kind. It was relentless competition with each other that pushed them to the limits of their physical potential. But enormous size, conferred short-lived success and ultimately sowed the seeds of their downfall. The world was changing. Time was running out for the giants of the Amazon. By becoming such a giant, the Porosaurus of the Amazon had, in its own way, become an extremist. Throughout their long history, crocodiles had always been masters of multiple worlds, moving freely between land and water, eating just about anything they cared to catch. But a giant can't afford such flexibility. An extreme creature, living at the edge of its limits, is in dire trouble if it must face sudden and severe change. Dr. Fraley believes that large size is an adaptive strategy. Being big gives you the advantage over your own species. But eventually, even the largest individuals bump up against other factors.
The problem with specialization is that these species are most closely tied to the environment. And if the environment changes, they're the first to become extinct.
Something upset the stable world of the Porosaurus, and the climate began to change. Seas retreated, locked away in new polar ice caps. And out of a vast lake, the Amazon River itself was born. David Fraley believes the extinction of Porosaurus was linked to such a dramatic change in the environment. These extreme crocodiles, it seems, were not able to adapt to the dawning of a new world.
Although we have this fantastic skull, there's still a great deal about Porosaurus and its world that we don't know. Out there, someplace, is the answer.
The answers will wait as long as the jungle still holds their bones and their secrets. It is said that nothing lives forever. The two greatest crocodiles in history, the fearsome Deinosuchus and the great Porosaurus, have long since met their fate. But crocodiles are with us still, living proof of the durability of their design. Masters of the special world where land and water meet, the crocodiles are a family of survivors. Rising with the dinosaurs some 200 million years ago, it's the crocodiles that have stood the test of time. Their modern descendants give us a tantalizing glimpse of the awesome power of a natural-born killer. The world will surely continue to change, but time will create new crocodiles, new varieties of the perfect predator for the next 200 million years.
You're watching The Science Channel. You heard me, The Science Channel. You probably noticed, we've changed a few things. We've taken the best science programming on TV and given it an all-new look. Still from Discovery, this is The Science Channel.
You flip, but they flop. Now your pancakes are a mess, and all that butter and fat to cook them. There's got to be a better way. Introducing the Perfect Pancake, the world's first spatula-free pancake maker. Just pour in your favorite batter, close the handle, and flip it. Presto, a golden brown pancake with no mess and no added fat. Now flip delicious blueberry, fluffy apple cinnamon, or mouth-watering buttermilk flapjacks. Fast, easy, and without using a spatula. Oh no, you broke the yolk again. But watch what happens with the perfect pancake. 3 eggs over easy without ever breaking a yolk. Call now and get the perfect pancake for only $19.95. You'll also receive this heart-shaped pancake ring for a Valentine's treat or a birthday breakfast free. Call right now and receive this no-drip batter dispenser free. This incredible offer is all yours for just $19.95. Call now.
Call 1-800-813-4848 to order your perfect pancake for just $19.95. Make perfect pancakes and eggs without breaking the yolk. Call now.
My father fought cancer the same way he played football.
He looked for every option, every alternative.
With a donation to the Walter Payton Cancer Fund, you can too.
Every dollar goes directly to cancer research.
You can even choose the way your money is spent.
Make a difference in someone else's life.
So they don't lose a father,
a husband,
or a son.
Please give to the Walter Payton Cancer Fund
at walterpaytoncancerfund.org.
The Discovery Channel, in partnership with the premier travel authority Insight Guides, introduces an extraordinary collection of travel books. Visit your bookseller today and begin your journey.
The Science Channel, organized to maximize your viewing experience. Each night, we've got a different theme block, a collection of shows on the same science subject. Every week, you'll find our theme blocks at the same time, giving you consistent places to see your favorite kinds of science, from the microscopic to the cosmic. The Science Channel's theme blocks, the best way to feed your need for science, only on the Science Channel. You're roaming the Science Channel's prehistoric planet. Up next, 60-ton dinosaurs, carnivorous plants, and you thought your neighborhood was rough. Paleo World is next, only on the Science Channel.
11,000 years ago, the world's top dog was a very unusual cat. This amazing creature, armed with serrated knives, vanished from the earth, then reappeared not once, but 10 different times. Now scientists are asking, could the next saber-toothed killer be lurking in the wings? In Africa, a cat with a rage to kill is an awesome sight. Today's cats are nature's most efficient predator, but in the distant past, another cat was nature's most horrifying nightmare. A few miles from Hollywood's dream factories, in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, is what looks like a scene from a science fiction movie. Here, tar and methane ooze up from deep within the earth, forming pools of bubbling asphalt. Known locally as the La Brea tar pits, they are the relic of a prehistoric world. Preserved in this sticky mire are the remains of thousands of giant beasts, ground sloths, mammoths, bison, and wolves, who prowled this urban jungle during the last ice age. But the most famous was a cat with a saber tooth. After nearly a century of digging, More than 1 million bones have been unearthed that tell a grisly tale. "40,000 years ago, La Brea looked deceptively like an oasis. Water covered the asphalt, inviting thirsty animals to drink. But as they neared the shore, they were trapped like flies on flypaper. In what must have been a din of noise and confusion, the doomed struggled to be set free. Exhausted, after what may have been hours, even days, they slowly began to sink into their tarry graves. Tempted by the prospect of an easy meal, the saber-toothed cats were quick to pounce on their dying prey. But they too became trapped and perished. Over thousands of years, carcass piled upon carcass to create one of the world's most spectacular bone beds. Today, Chris Shaw is in charge of excavating these asphalt death traps. The largest measures up to 28 feet deep and 20 feet across. Here, in Pit 91, Chris is uncovering the bones of a saber-toothed cat called Smilodon.
Currently, we're excavating a 10 by 10 foot square area in which we have found hundreds, if not thousands, of bones. We have at least 3 dozen bones exposed of the saber-toothed cat Smilodon fatalis. In fact, the bone that we see protruding here is the upper part of the thigh bone. Once we extract this bone from here and clean it up, it will look very much like this. You can see that these fossils are very, very well preserved.
Asphalt acts like a barrier, protecting the bones from decay. Even the tiniest fragments have been preserved, making saber-toothed cats one of the best-known creatures from the prehistoric world.
Saber-toothed cats are the second most common large vertebrate from Rancho La Brea, and we have in our collections alone over 166,000 items of saber-toothed cats.
This creature, a distant relative of modern cats, roamed what are now the streets of Los Angeles and shared the earth with humans. The size of an African lion, it weighed about 300 pounds. Popularly referred to as a saber-toothed tiger, its name is misleading. Tigers live in jungles and have stripes. Smilodon hunted in the brush on the edge of a forest. Like the jaguars in South America, their coats were probably spotted to blend in with the dappled light filtering through the trees. There, in perfect cover, they waited. But Smilodon's best feature were the 6-inch fangs that protruded from its gaping mouth. Crafted like knives with serrated blades, the name appropriately means blade tooth. Combined with powerful neck muscles and a jaw that could open 120 degrees, Smilodon could bring down an animal the size of an elephant with one decisive blow. Incredibly, we now know what Smilodon would have sounded like. Studies of the bones that hold its tongue in place indicate that they roared like lions. Crouched under cover, a hungry Smilodon waited in ambush for a stray giant sloth to wander near. At the perfect moment, it would lunge at its prey. While some found easy pickings at the tar pits, those who died fell prey to an even more insidious predator. Blowflies, lured to the scene by the putrid flesh, swarmed on the carnage to lay their eggs. their larvae could devour a saber-tooth in hours, picking clean the bones. Smilodon disappeared beneath the asphalt of the La Brea tar pits 11,000 years ago. But if one scientist is right, we may not have seen the last of the saber-toothed cats.
A new name, a new look, but we're still your best source for science programming on TV today. Stay with the Science Channel.
Some of the most powerful motors drive the smallest machines. At last, a compact portable sewing machine with big machine power that lets you sew like a pro. Introducing the incredible new Sewing Genie. This revolutionary compact electronic sewing wonder is ready to sew in seconds. Don't waste space and time setting up big, clumsy machines. Simply place the Sewing Genie on any surface and presto, you're good to sew. Now anyone can repair a tear anywhere. It's so simple. Sewing Genie's revolutionary micro-technology incorporates all the major features and benefits of big machines. Watch, it's so powerful, it easily sews through leather. And its locking double stitch permanently keeps the seams together. Sew pillow shams, turn ordinary into extraordinary. The powerful Sewing Genie's motor sews through any type of fabric without special attachments. Watch, we folded tough denim 4 times, and the Sewing Genie doesn't miss a stitch. Yet it glides through delicate silks. Look, it sews the finest lace. Sewing Genie is portable and stores any place. Tailor repairs cost a fortune. Now fix that torn hem like a pro. It's so practical. Sewing Genie makes decorating so easy. Turn the drab to fab. Don't waste money on expensive bulky machines. So smart with a Sewing Genie. Order the Sewing Genie with foot power pedal for only $39.95 and receive the carrying case, a $10 value, free. But wait, call right now and get the 64-piece Rainbow Thread and Bobbin bonus pack absolutely free. That's the Sewing Genie, the power foot pedal, the carrying case, and the Rainbow Thread and Bobbin bonus pack, an incredible $60 value, all for only $39.95. Order now.
To order your Sewing Genie, call 1-800-786-8844. That's 1-800-786-8844. Or send a check or money order to the address listed. So call 1-800-786-8844.
The Science Channel, organized to maximize your viewing experience. Each night, we've got a different theme block, a collection of shows on the same science subject. Every week, you'll find our theme blocks at the same time, giving you consistent places to see your favorite kinds of science, from the microscopic to the cosmic. The Science Channel's theme blocks, the best way to feed your need for science. Only on the Science Channel.
Open your children to a world of possibilities when you help them open a book.
In the rugged foothills of northeast Wyoming, Dr. Larry Martin of the University of Kansas is on a mission. He's here to hunt down one of the oldest saber-tooths known, an unusual cat called Eusmilus that lived 38 million years ago.
Well, it looks like you've got a cat skeleton, all right. Yep. I can see a skull over there, and there's an arm bone, and there's part of the backbone there.
With the help of his colleagues, Dr. Kent Sundell and Dr. Virginia Naples, Larry Martin is looking for evidence to prove a radical new theory that has scientists up in arms. Saber-toothed cats seem to go extinct, only to reappear with minor variations. This remarkable reincarnation has occurred no less than 10 times over the past 40 million years, 5 times in North America alone. What unseen mechanism of evolution could explain such an incredible reversal? Larry thinks he has the answer. 65 million years ago, after the fall of the dinosaurs, the world was left with a void. Gone were the largest land animals that ever lived. A few experimental predators came and went, but not until the arrival of the saber-tooths had nature perfected a new and even more efficient killer. One of the first was small, but it was breathtaking. Eusmilus is one of the most amazing creatures ever uncovered. Only the size of a domestic cat, it could bring down an animal 5 times larger.
Well, here's an animal the size of a house cat that could probably kill a deer. You know, here a little animal like this, it has a tooth that's longer than the canine of a lion.
Eusmilus was literally armed to the teeth. But in a few million years, the cats and their canines would get bigger and bigger.
What would happen, you start out with a small cat, and it'd get big saber-like teeth, and that'd permit it to kill larger prey. When it could kill larger prey, it got bigger, with even larger teeth, so it could kill even larger prey. And so they just continuously got large until they got big like this.
Larry links the appearance of each new line of saber-tooths directly to the size and abundance of its prey. The larger the prey, the larger the cat. As large prey disappeared, the cats went with them. But as new kinds of animals evolved, new saber-tooths evolved to prey on them.
Saber-toothed cats are embedded in a pattern of extinction and re-evolution. At the time that they became extinct, about 55% of all the different kinds of large animals would become extinct. And then the whole system, the community, would re-evolve itself, and the saber-toothed cats would come back again.
Nature is a marvel of ingenuity, but it rarely reinvents the wheel. For 40 million years, some variation on the cats came back to haunt the prehistoric world. If it is true that form follows function, then the cheetah is a natural-born killer. Superbly adapted to chase their prey, they've been clocked at an astonishing 60 miles an hour. But modern cats are strikingly different from their ancient predecessors. 7 million years ago, the largest saber-tooth was not like a cat at all. Barbrophilis was built more like a bear, could rear up to 6 feet, and weighed in at a staggering 1/4 of a ton. Although it was slow on its feet, its 9-inch long canines made it a killer to be reckoned with. Unlike a cheetah, Barbrophilis's legs were too short and robust to chase its prey. Built for power, not speed, it patiently hid in the trees and waited.
It would be surprising that an animal with a brain this size had complex social behavior, and it seems likely that it ambushed its prey. It picked its place of ambush by instinct, and it ambushed animals like rhinoceroses and elephants that were so big they probably didn't think they had any predators at all.
Based on the fossils from the La Brea tar pits, Chris Shaw suspects Smilodon was also an ambusher.
The anatomy of Smilodon indicates that it was an ambush killer, basically because the animal was built very stockily, for one. It was very powerfully built in the front. They probably attained perhaps 30 to 35 miles per hour in a very short distance. But the tail is short, and the long tails in cats are built for turning corners quickly, and these were just not capable of doing that.
Unlike Barbrophilis, who was a solitary hunter, Chris Shaw has found evidence that Smilodon may have lived in groups, like African lions do today. Female lions hunt and share their kills with the other members of the group. They also take turns rearing and nurturing their cubs. But Smilodon may have gone lions one better. They may have nursed and cared for each other.
This is an example of a Smilodon lower back that has been horribly injured, as opposed to a healthy one. This animal was so horribly crippled that it could not have fed itself or provided for itself. And this is an excellent example of why I believe that these animals did have a social structure. This did not die because of this injury. This animal survived through protection by the group from other predators, and also through nurturing, or the ability to go and feed at the group's kills.
Smilodon was the last of the great saber-tooths. From a mindless killing machine to a cunning and sophisticated predator, the cats had taken a giant leap into the future. But their 40-million-year reign was about to come to an end. Poised to take center stage was the most ruthless predator nature ever devised.
In this world, it's play or be played. Get the battle skills. Get the code. Get the strategy. Get the secrets to become the ultimate gamer. Because information is power. And power, you're going to need it. The Electric Playground, every Thursday night at 8:30. Only on the Science Channel.
I was mighty flattered you invited me to come to Texas.
Well, I'm glad you came. You're going to be the prettiest lady at the ball.
I'm afraid I'm a little good at dancing.
Oh, sure the music won't be too fast.
Texas sure isn't what I thought it would be.
Come see that Texas is more than you've heard. Stop online at TravelTex.com or call 1-800-8888-TEX and find out what to see, what to do, and where to stay in Texas. Have dinner by candlelight, not just campfire. See where we wrangle spaceships or drive more than cattle. Of course, you'll still likely see a stagecoach or two. Plan your Texas adventure at TravelTex.com or 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 180. And get your free 264-page Texas travel guide, accommodations guide, and Texas highway map.
Well, I don't know about you, but I could go for some sushi.
Texas, it's more than you think. It's like a whole other country.
We're uncovering your past on the Science Channel's Prehistoric Planet. Stay with us.
11,000 years ago, as the last ice age ended, the Earth underwent a dramatic change. An ice sheet, a mile thick, that covered much of the northern hemisphere, began to melt, and the climate began to change. As temperatures grew milder, patterns of vegetation shifted, and the food source of the giant plant eaters began to disappear. The saber-tooths had undergone millions of years of adaptation and evolution to become sophisticated killers. Now, in the twilight years of the plant eaters, the cats once again faced extinction. For Larry Martin, over-specialization is a house of cards.
Here we have 7 million years of evolution. They started out small, they always do, but then they became progressively larger. As they became larger, they had to catch larger and larger prey species. In the end, they wound up with rhinoceroses and elephants. This was okay. In fact, it's a very lucrative niche. But if your prey species happens to become extinct, and these rhinoceroses and elephants did, then you're forced to catch faster and more agile prey, and these animals couldn't. So they became extinct too. In a sense, the thing that made them successful in the end caused their failure.
To be the biggest and the best is a high-risk strategy. The more specialized an animal is, the more unable it is to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. Then nature threw the killer cats another curve. A new predator, armed not with sabers, but with rocks and spears. Humans took deadly aim on the last of the plant eaters. Over 50% of all the land animals in North America vanished. Their disappearance spelled the doom of the saber-toothed cats.
maybe it was a combination of both climatic change and humans coming into the New World to cause the ultimate extinction of this magnificent carnivore.
Did the great cats go quietly? Maybe not. It seems odd that Stone Age man and saber-tooth coexisted. Yet there is no prehistoric art to record the event. But then, who would paint a picture of the creature that haunts his dreams? And what is more frightening, we may not have seen the last of the killer cats.
Saber-toothed cats have evolved time and time again. Being a saber-toothed cat must have been a wonderful occupation, but it was also high risk. They kept becoming extinct. But after they became extinct, they'd evolve right back again. In a sense, extinction was not forever.
Today, the clouded leopard of Southeast Asia is a jaguar-sized killer with the longest canines alive. Perhaps, somewhere in the world, the next saber-toothed cat is lurking in the shadows, waiting for his next meal.
You're watching the Science Channel. That's right, the Science Channel. We've changed our name, changed our look, but what we haven't changed is your channel. Same programming, new attitude. Still from Discovery, this is the Science Channel.
Do you need to know how to operate a computer? Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. It seems like everywhere I go these days, somebody is recognizing me as the Video Professor. You know, that's because we've been teaching people how to operate computers for over 14 years now. You know, our product is quick, it's easy to learn with, and you can try it for free. You know, over the years, millions of people have learned how to run their computer using our product. We get happy letters and emails every day thanking us. Albert emails us, I have to say, you have by far the best learning tool I have ever seen. And Debbie from Florida writes, the lessons are just what I was looking for to help me pursue my career goals. But the most rewarding thing for me is having people stop me on the street and tell me just how easy it was for them to learn to run their computer using our product. They've tried expensive classes, they've tried big thick manuals, they couldn't get it. If you just want to learn how to run a computer once and for all, save yourself a lot of time, a lot of energy, try my product. Let me show you how easy this is. Put your CD in the CD tray, your lesson will come up. The lesson plays right on your computer. It works just like a VCR. You have a play button, pause, rewind, fast forward. Just follow the step-by-step instruction. You know, I'm so confident my product will work for you. I'm going to send it to you absolutely free. Compare this to a lesson costing $60. You just pay a small shipping and handling. The reason I'm going to do this is because I know that once you try my product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs. And if this doesn't teach you how to run a computer, I'll even refund your shipping and handling. So what do you got to lose? Try my product?
Call Video Professor now for your free lesson. Choose from Windows, Word, Quicken, the Internet, and many more. Call in the next 10 minutes and this free gift will be yours. The Anytime Organizer is the calendar, diary, address book, and journal on your PC, so you'll never miss an appointment again. Remember, you must call now to get your free CD and the extra free gift. So don't delay, call now.
Call 1-800-301-9069.
Fire, a source of mystery, terror, and primal fascination. The blue part of this flame can reach temperatures of almost 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. What would happen to human flesh if it came in contact with a flame like this? An ancient ritual seems to challenge our expectations. A ritual known as firewalk.
Practiced by Native American tribes and dating back to the Greeks and Romans, firewalking is a part of cultures and religions around the world. Perhaps the ritual reflects our ambivalence toward fire, which is a source of warmth and light, yet hot enough to sear human flesh and incinerate buildings. But how can human flesh be exposed to fire hot enough to melt aluminum and not be severely burned? Many firewalkers believe that it's a spiritual event, requiring intensive mental and spiritual preparation. Others point to the power of the human mind to protect the body.
Popular explanations seem to be that it's mind over matter in some way, that your body is putting out an energy that's counteracting the energy of the fire, none of which is true, of course.
For me, it's a belief in myself or my higher self, a higher power.
Higher power, some call it God.
Faith is the most important thing in walking the fire.
Your body will do whatever it takes to protect itself.
A scientific analysis suggests a combination of factors makes firewalking possible.
One of the main reasons that we can walk on fire is because wood is a poor thermal conductor. I have another example of a poor thermal conductor here. It's a piece of tile from the space shuttle. And even though now the temperature is up at about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, with it being a really poor conductor, I can pick it up and not enough heat energy gets to my hands, because it is a poor conductor, to burn me. This coal here is at about 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. You can tell that because it's orange hot. And as long as I bounce it between my hands, I'm still okay. I'm not going to burn myself. I'm not going to hold on to it for any length of time, though.
Time is an important factor. Typically, a firewalker's foot is in contact with the coals for only 0.7 of a second. Not really enough time to cause a serious burn.
Practicing mind over matter probably couldn't hurt. But I think a swift trip over the coals is the best ticket for a firewalker. For Skeptical Inquirer, I'm William B. Davis.
Every week at this time, discover the Science Channel's Prehistoric Planet. It's the place to see how science gives us the best view of our past. Prehistoric Planet, one of the Science Channel's theme blocks.
Stand by for a journey no one would ever dare take. To the sun. Above the protective blanket of our atmosphere, and you'd be exposed to the full blast of the sun's lethal radiation. The ultraviolet would sunburn you in seconds. Next, skin cancer, then eye cataracts. We're heading to the superheated heart of our solar system. Here, invisible forces conjure up hoops of fire so big they'd swallow the earth. Where solar flares spear space with bursts of raw energy. Put planet Earth next to one of these, and in seconds it would vaporize. Turn off the powerhouse, and in just a few months, we'd be under ice. We owe our lives to this savage sun. Planet Earth is just the right distance from this inferno. While other planets either freeze or fry, we, at 93 million miles, sit in the comfort zone. The sun sustains life on Earth. Its warmth drives our weather, lifting water from the seas and moving it over the continents. The warmth in every animal's body was once sunlight. Without that warmth, creatures like the crocodile don't have the energy to digest their food. A thermal imaging camera shows hotspots, the humps that have evolved to soak up the sun. They absorb heat through the skin and pass it on through the bloodstream. We too like to lie in the sun, and when we do, we get more than just a suntan. Our skin starts making ingredients for the vitamins we need to survive, using chemical reactions that are triggered by the energy in sunlight. But our sun is not only warmth, it's light too. The miracle of plants is their ability to use sunlight to grow. In growing, they create another miracle. Using photosynthesis, plants convert water and carbon dioxide into carbohydrates, which releases oxygen. We owe our lives to this massive natural power plant. It uses as its fuel the simplest chemical in the universe, hydrogen, the lighter-than-air gas that once lifted airships to the skies. 1937. 70 tons of hydrogen float the Hindenburg over New Jersey. But a spark strikes. The gas burns in a chemical reaction. Big Bear Mountain Lake, where the cool, tranquil air is unruffled by the heat haze. The telescope in the Big Bear Observatory can filter out the sun's glare. It tunes into just one specific color of light, and a new sun is revealed. No longer a blinding disk. See only the light given out by hot hydrogen, and the sun's features suddenly come into view. These features reflect the sun's mood, moods that in turn affect our Earth. The small round specks are cooler areas, sunspots that sit within a broiling surface. Flares, lesions that open up, shining brighter and hotter in the hydrogen light. These hot spots are some of the lighter patches. Massive filaments, loops of gas arching up over the surface. Seen head on, they are the dark lines that snake over the face of the sun. Those same features, when seen against the rim, are called prominences. They curve out, big enough to girdle the Earth. There's much more to sunlight than meets the eye. Thanks to the internet, you don't need to visit a telescope to study the sun. Professor and author Ken Lang works from his home in Boston. He's devoted most of his career to understanding what makes the sun shine. The secret lies in the sun's ability to squeeze hydrogen atoms so hard that they fuse together and make helium.
The sun shines by nuclear fusion, the fusion of 4 hydrogens into 1 helium. First 1 hydrogen fuses to another, then another, and a 4th. But the helium weighs less than the 4 hydrogens that went into making it, so what you get out is less than what you put in. That mass difference is energy that powers the sun.
A few pounds of matter becomes energy in an H-bomb. But every second the sun releases the same energy as 1,000,000 H-bombs. Yet there's a force that stops it blowing itself to pieces. Gravity. It's strong enough to keep the nuclear monster in check.
Gravity compresses the sun, making it heat up inside. The particles move faster, and the nuclear fusion proceeds at a more rapid rate. That produces an outward pressure that makes the sun expand and cool back down again.
But when fusion forces the sun to expand, gravity reins it back in. It's like a tug-of-war, going to and fro, but with no winner. It all began 5 billion years ago. when gravity pulled in a cloud of cosmic rubble. At the core, getting denser and hotter, gas and dust fused together. Comets streaked towards the newborn sun. Today, the Hubble Space Telescope sees the same process going on, all across the sky. Our sun is just one of billions of stars. Hubble zooms in on them and shows us stars of every age in a life cycle that links them all. For stars are born of other stars. A massive star explodes and litters space with its embers. Its death shroud joins the debris from countless other explosions. These ashes will become the seeds of new stars. The Eagle Nebula, a crucible of creation. Massive clouds from long-dead stars. Inside, stars, planets, perhaps even life, all hover on the brink of birth. But in the gas and dust that makes up the Orion Nebula, gravity has already pulled in the debris and ignited the celestial fires. New stars with billions of years to shine.
2, 1, ignition.
Cape Canaveral, December 1995.
Soho and the atmosphere.
Satellite Soho hangs in space at a special point, 1,000,000 miles out, where the Earth's gravitational pull is just as strong as the Sun's. This solar-powered solar observer ends up balanced between the two. NASA, Goddard Space Flight Center. Scientists here study the images that Soho sent back to Earth for several years. But in 1998, Mission Control lost those images when Soho spun away from the sun and its power failed. All they could do was wait and hope the spacecraft would rotate back to face the sun. Slowly, it did. Pictures from the Soho Gallery. If our eyes could see ultraviolet radiation, then the sun would look something like this. X-ray vision shows bright, hot patches. Look in the light of helium, and a turbulent rim is revealed. Here, gases are moved by an invisible force. The patterns we see on the sun are the same as the magnetic field lines round a bar magnet on Earth.
Magnetism molds, shapes, and constrains everything we see on the sun. It energizes powerful explosions. It heats the solar corona. Invisible magnetism rules the sun.
We are the Science Channel. Stay with us. Every week at this time, discover the Science Channel's Prehistoric Planet. It's the place to see how science gives us the best view of our past. Prehistoric Planet, one of the Science Channel's theme blocks.
How would you like to be able to get any stain off of virtually any surface, guaranteed? Introducing the new Zap Total Restoration Kit. Professional strength restorers, each specially formulated to restore surfaces back like new. Think that ink stain has ruined your expensive Corian countertop? Don't replace it, zap it. Zap even works on impossible stains like hard water and rust. Cleaners only work on surface dirt, but Zap concentrated restorers penetrate deep down, restoring surfaces back like new. Zap is as easy as 1, 2, 3. On tile and grout, just spray it on, let it sit, and wipe it off. On vinyl and linoleum floors, just spray it on, let it sit, and wipe it off. Hard water stains on glass shower doors, spray it on, let it sit, and wipe it off. Watch as we use Zap on this old brass fixture. In just seconds, it's restored like new. Not even dried-on black permanent marker can stand up to professional strength Zap. Zap Restores are so effective, they're guaranteed to remove any stain from any of these surfaces or your money back.
With the Zap kit, I was able to restore all of the surfaces in my home. If I had to call in a professional, it would have cost over $10,000. I am amazed with the Zap products.
It would cost over $30,000 to replace all the surfaces you've seen restored in this commercial. But why replace it when you can restore it with the Zap Total Restoration Kit, all for only $19.95? Call now and we'll upgrade your kit to include a free sprayer attachment, 2 industrial Zap pads, a free bottle of Zap Colored Grout Restorer, plus a free bottle of Zap Wood Restorer. It's safe for any wood, any finish, even priceless antiques. But that's not all. Call in the next 5 minutes and we'll double your order for free. That's right, 8 bottles of Zap for only $19.95. Operators are standing by.